Now, President Yoon's political future hangs in the balance with investigations into what happened on the night of the martial law order, now narrowing down to the South Korean leader. We discussed this more with Attorney An Junseong this morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
I'd like to start with the key suspect here. An arrest warrant was issued for former defense chief Kim Yong-hyun shortly after he forwent an arrest warrant. Now, does it mean he's pleading guilty?
Well, just means that he was voluntarily giving up his legal right to defend himself at the hearing. So it doesn't necessarily mean that he's pleading guilty with the crime charge. So in this respect, we have to wait and see what kind of statements and evidence to come out of his criminal trial.
Well, that no longer matters with the court having issued an arrest warrant for Kim late last night, leading to speculation that maybe President Yoon Suk-yeol be summoned or even arrested sooner or later. Let's talk about the possibility.
Well, there's a fair possibility that criminal investigation can be initiated against President Yoon. Under the South Korean Constitution, President has qualified immunity against the criminal prosecution. But under Article 84 of the Constitution, there are two cases, a specific crime that can be charged against the president at office. So, and obviously, insurrection is one of them. So, legally speaking, president can be charged with the crime of insurrection while his office if the prosecution has built sufficient evidence to prove his criminal act.
So we need more evidence to even arrest President Yoon Suk-yeol for now. But one thing is investigating President Yoon, but at the same time, there are also concerns about over a possible vacancy in presidential leadership if the worst case scenario does happen for President Yoon. What happens next then?
Well, yeah, actually, in U.S. and Korea different system. In the United States, there's a designated successor. Basically, sometimes something happens to president, the vice president become president.
Right.
But in Korea, it's different from the U.S. It's more like you act as an acting person. So what happened was that in the case of the vacancy or permanent vacancy at the presidential office, and the prime minister will work as the acting president for up to 60 days. And if it is a permanent vacancy, under the South Korean Constitution, there have to be election for the president within 60 days, and the new president have to take over within 60-day window. And if the prime minister somehow is not available to perform his duty as acting president, and the deputy prime minister will take over his position as the acting prime minister and acting president. Right.
Then does it mean after 60 days we'll have a snap presidential election?
Yeah. Well, under South Korean Constitution, you have a 6-day window to get the new president to swear in, and then you have to be within 60 days have to take over the position, right?
Then Prime Minister Han Duck-soo will be next in line if anything happens to President Yoon. But we haven't heard anything from President Yoon himself or the top office since he delivered a public apology last weekend. But apparently Yoon's legal team is reportedly looking to appoint a legal representative or even form a legal team. Is that the case?
Well, obviously, it seems that he's calling up the lawyers, the litigators, and through constitutional lawyers, right? So, well, I guess that according to the press, and also I think they have strategy. They prefer go for the impeachment procedure rather than the resignation. And well, resignation is more like you pleading guilty, right? So you don't want to get declare yourself you're the guilty
right.
person, right? So I think his strategy is that you want to go fight for the truth, or his truth from his perspective. So he want to see how the court, the constitutional court, decide on whatever did it, or the martial law on 12.123, right, happens, and he want to try to justify what he did at that on that day. So we have to wait and see what kind of legal team he prepared. But it will have the about I think there's 3 months period to finish up the constitutional court litigation. So.
Well, nonetheless, President Yoon is, in the meantime, barred from leaving the country, so he is put in place in Yongsan for now. But does he also have any limits on carrying out his duties as the president as of now?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, the traveling ban is only means that he cannot go overseas, right? He can go travel any place within Korea. I mean, it's not like you staying in the house, you cannot get out of your house. It means that you cannot go overseas. And that doesn't necessarily means that any limitation on exercise of his presidential right power. So that's kind of still concerning many people, because that he can do many things, unexpected things, right? So you need to speed up the process to, really, take care about the person, right?
Sir, thanks so much for sharing your insight with us this morning. We appreciate it as always.
Right, thank you.